Good afternoon, sir. Are you getting our voice, sir? मेरा वॉइस कैसा है सर, आ रहा है क्या? यहाँ पे थोड़ा नेटवर्क का इश्यू है, गड़बड़ है, इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ.
We can hear you, sir, loud and clear.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Am I?
Namaskar, hello and welcome to this very special commemoration from the edges of Rethink India Institute and Arogyam Institute of Integrated Medical Sciences. I am Raghav Mittal.
I am Dr. Surbhi Rajput.
And today, as we all know, that the world is commemorating the World TB Day, and in the backdrop of the global pandemic of COVID, which the doyens in the pulmonary space, they have been talking about the symptomatic similarities. One tuberculosis is, as we had studied in our grade 6 biology as well, that it's a bacterial outcome, but then COVID was all about a virus, and देश जीतेगा और टीबी हारेगा, जब इसका ये आह्वान माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 2019 में एक टीबी एलिमिनेशन प्रोग्राम के तहत किया, तो संभवतः वी वर ऑल एस्टोनिश्ड कि भाई how it will all happen, and just within a year or so the world was struck by the COVID pandemic, and it is 2 years hence we all have been collectively handling that. But COVID अब एक किनारे पर आया है, और the huge fight which are as we say the COVID warriors and the entire medical fraternity it put across. So पर ये जो आंकड़े आपके स्क्रीन पर दिख रहे हैं, ये बड़ा ही एक I would say it's very promising out here, and we felt like to be the be the screenshot, to be the showstopper for today. So this data has been taken away from the Nikshay website. क्षय रोग जैसा कि हम टीबी को बोलते हैं, पर निक्षय यह नाम दिया गया, और उस निक्षय पर प्रतिदिन का डेटाबेस इकट्ठा होता है कि what kind of TB notifications are out there. So we at Rethink India, we took the last 3 months of data because it's a VUCA word and a lot of disruptions are happening, just to have a feel as to which of the various states are at what level. And we have been joined in by the state TB cell heads from Lakshadweep, who have given us this confidence कि yes, we are very very close. आज 2022 है और 2022 में लक्षद्वीप आज जो यह आंकड़ा दिखा रहा है वह 4.65 TB notifications per lakh of population. This is what the kind of confidence which Lakshadweep has given, and we just created the whole matrix. And at Rethink India, we have committed ourselves to commemorate 24th of each month as a TB monitoring day, where we would be having roundtables with the various state TB cells, and we would be talking to the various implementation strategies, because as they say that TB is a curable disease, agar uska 6 mahine ka dots ka karyakram ho, and we have the great good fortune of having one of the leading personalities, one of the leading torchbearers of tuberculosis from I would say from the technical frontiers. We have with us Professor Anant Mohan, and you'll be learning more from him about the challenges primarily from the medical frontiers and from other frontiers. Professor Mohan is the head of the Department of Pulmonary Medicine at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. So that would be his inaugural address. So what we felt is that there's a lot of awareness aspect involved over here. Very recently, there was a corporate pledge taken over, and this year's World TB Day is all about investing in TB to get rid of it all. And the corporates are coming together to put in their resources. The way COVID, we saw a kind of collective resources coming in play. So screening and diagnostics is something which has to really go down the drains, and somewhere or the other, it's quite alarming that the National Capital Territory of Delhi, if you can see on this screen, it tops the list of TB notifications from a different perspective, and the Union Territory of Chandigarh, which is probably one of the very fine frontiers, are there. But on TB front, at least the 3 months data from Nikshay shows that Chandigarh, there is a lots and lots of work to be done. There's a high jump over here, as you can see. And so these are statistics, but they reveal a lot. And today we have the great good fortune of felicitating some of the district TB officials, because they are the ones who are at, I would say, at the theater of war. They are the warriors who are really encountering this bacterium. And obviously, this has got similar proclivities as the COVID virus as well in some of the symptomatic aspects. So, and also we would be felicitating some of the state TB officials, and the national average from the Nikshay data came to be 34.75. So up to the state of Punjab, 22 states are somewhere below the national average of TB notifications per lakh of population. This was a metric we just found out, and we felt like, because Niti Aayog ke Tatwadhan mein data-driven governance has taken I would say a lot of inroads, and this really helps us कि भाई जो हम efforts कर रहे हैं, if we cannot measure anything, as Lord Kelvin said, we don't know anything about it. And there's another adage that in God we trust and let everyone else bring data on table. So this is a very transparent and a data-driven framework which Rethink India Institute tried it hands-on. So without losing any further time, we would straight away invite Professor Anant Mohan to give away his inaugural address on this very occasion of World TB Day, what challenges he sees and what promises and what potential he sees in the next 3 years. We envisage to eliminate TB from the face of India. Despite the COVID disruption, 2 years were lost in an additional virus, but still, can we pick it up? what are the medical challenges, what are the operational challenges, and what capacity we have generated over these 2 years in public health, the kind of awareness which has got created about personal hygiene, about vaccination, and a host of other frontiers. So I would request Dr. Surbhi, who is the president at Rethink India Institute, to welcome Professor Anand Mohan, who also happens to be his professor from AIMS. Over to Dr. Surbhi. Yeah.
I take this great opportunity to welcome and invite Professor Anand Mohan sir, who is a revered professor and head department of pulmonary medicine at AIMS. And we have received our medical training from sir, and it's a great opportunity to hear sir. And over to sir for his inaugural address, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Surbhi. Thank you to all your colleagues for inviting me here. I think it's a pleasure to be here on World TB Day. And as very nicely summed up, that we are facing quite a bit of challenges, but then facing challenges is how we ultimately overcome the challenges. So it is to work in progress. People are moving towards it. Some, as you saw from that chart, some states are doing very well, some states are not. So it's a continuous process going on, and challenges are there, and developments are also there as far as diagnostics is concerned, notification is concerned, the public health system is concerned, also the treatment, the therapeutic strategies are concerned, because development of MDR, XDR is proving to be a very big challenge as far as the elimination of TB is there. So I'll just, over the next 15-20 minutes, I'll take you through briefly through the overview of the gamut of tuberculosis as we see it from our perspective. So can I have the share screen option, please?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I'll just.
So I'll kind of introduce, then I'll just go through how the diagnostics have been developing, what are the treatment strategies that we have, and how they are working. So trying to go in brief through most of the important aspects of tuberculosis.
Yeah. Sir, you have the permission, sir. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So can you see it now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So basically, I'll try and take you through a bit of epidemiology, a bit about the diagnosis, some aspects of treatment, so that you get a gist of where we stand today. Well, needless to say, we all know that TB is a very infectious disease. The causative agent is the Bacillus Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which is a small aerobic non-motile gram-positive bacillus. It spreads primarily by the infectious aerosol droplets. These days, everybody knows what is an aerosol droplet. Everybody knows because of COVID. Everybody is aware. Earlier, people were not so aware, but now we know that it also actually spreads through the same way. And the droplets are anywhere between 0.5 to 5 microns in diameter. And also, just an interesting fact is that a single sneeze can release up to 40,000 droplets, and each one of them is actually capable of transmitting the disease because the infective dose is very small. Inhalation of fewer than 10 bacteria actually may cause an infection. So that is why when we talk about other diseases like COVID, etc., let us not forget TB is also very, very easily spread from one person to another by almost the same method. Epidemiology, well, this is a dynamic process, but if we see the total, this is as per the India TB report 2021, as per the total estimated TB cases worldwide are almost 10 million. And see, India has the dubious distinction of contributing almost 1/4 of those cases globally. Almost 26.9 lakh cases came in one year, single year last year. So that is a huge number, and it's actually virtually been the same for the last many years or so. India has been contributing almost 20 to 25% of the global cases of tuberculosis for many years now. This is for all cases, but the more important are the MDR or the rifampicin resistant cases, and we can see that globally is somewhere around 0.5 million, and out of that 1.24 lakh are contributed in India alone. Again, a large number. And we also know that among the new cases of TB, there is a 2.84% likelihood of them being MDR. And among all cases who have been treated previously for TB, there is approximately 11.6% likelihood of them developing or being MDR actually when tested. Similarly, there's a lot of focus on INH monoresistance, and any INH resistance is to the tune of around 16%. It is around 11.6% in new and around 25% in previously treated patients. Then the extensively drug-resistant TB, there is the XDR TB, very, very difficult to treat, have also been found in almost 8.5% of the patients who have got any kind of MDR treatment, MDR tuberculosis. Unfortunately, the treatment success remains low, and global treatment success is 55% overall. It is much better for the drug sensitive, but for drug resistant, it is not more than 40 to 50%. And this is what we were talking about earlier, that now the NTB strategy has been put into place, and there are certain visions, goals, targets, and milestones. The vision is that we have a world which is free of TB. That means no deaths, no disease, and no suffering from tuberculosis. The goal is to end the current global TB epidemic. And how do we propose to achieve that? In phases? And as we can see, the milestones are 2020 and 2025. So what we do is, and these are some sustainable development goals, and this is the goal of NTB strategy. So either we reduce the number of TB deaths, and the target is by 2025, it should reduce by 75%. Incidence rate should reduce by 50%, and there should be no family which faces catastrophic costs because of TB by 2025. So these are the milestones, and thereby we progress further, and by the 2035 it is proposed to reduce the number of deaths by 95%, the incidence rates by almost 90%, thereby to end the global TB epidemic. So these are some targets and milestones that have been kept, and this is the backbone on which all the development is taking place and all the progress is taking place in TB. Also, see, TB notification, we should know, is now legally mandatory.
Could you just roll on the slides? We're just able to see the first slide only. If you could click on the slides, so we could see the slide which is being...
Oh, you could not see the next one?
No, sir. Only the first slide is there, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'll do again.
That's fine, sir. If you could go from slide 4 number. So we're following.
No, but now is it moving?
It's not moving, sir. Just if you could click on the 4th slide.
Yeah,
now it's there, sir. Now it's there, sir. We need to go further.
Yeah. Presentation.
Now you are getting the TB notification?
Yes,
perfect.
yes. TB notification is leaving.
Should I go back also? Because
you could go back, sir.
so this is my first one. Okay, this which I had already talked about, the introduction. Is it moving now?
It's not moving, sir, again.
Oh, I think then I'll have to maybe share again, maybe if I can.
Now it's there. So introduction is there.
So should I just...
You could go quickly on the 6th, 4th, yeah, from here, sir.
Moving now?
Now
Yes,
moving.
So I'll just go like this only without slide share maybe, or...
That's fine, sir. This is fine, sir.
Okay. Because there are many slides which are hidden. So, okay. So this is the one which I wanted to talk to you about, the NTB vision and goals and milestones. This is an important slide. So this is how, this was the vision, this was the goal, and these were the milestones that we had kept for reduction in the number of TB deaths, reduction in the incidence rate, and reduction in the families having catastrophic costs. So by 2025, these were the milestones. These are sustainable development goals. And this was by 2035, what we hope to achieve as part of the NTB strategy: reduction in deaths by 95%, incidence rate by 90%, and catastrophic cost in affecting families, none should be there. So this is basically what we have. And now we should also know that TB notification is actually legally mandatory, and there is a gazette notification to that effect, that all physicians who diagnose tuberculosis must notify this to their hospital and subsequently to the National TB program. And actually there's a lot of debate on that, not a debate, but there was a lack of awareness. So in fact, there were a lot of comments that whether it can land doctors in jail and all those things. Of course, that doesn't happen. But just to kind of sensitize the public and to the physician that TB notification is legally mandatory. Well, we were talking about COVID. So see, what was the impact of COVID on tuberculosis? Now you see over here, the problem, Dr. Shubhi, will be that animations won't work if I move like that.
So,
You want me to stop share and try again?
Yes, sir. That will be great, sir. You
we'll
can
do that.
Yeah,
Sir.
yeah.
Let me just check that.
Yeah.
I think. No. Is it coming now?
I think it's opening, sir. We are getting the window, short TB PPT. It would be opening perhaps.
Yeah, it should be because it's open on my end. No?
Not yet open, sir.
So you shared the opened one. Yeah.
So this is my. This. Again, I'll have to kind of see what's happening.
Actually, it prompts a lot of screens that way, so you can just select the opened one.
Yeah, this is my opened one.
Yeah, it has come. It has come.
Yeah,
So maybe
but
we'll do without animations as well. So it's so
yeah. I think we'll do without animations. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just to tell you what was the impact of COVID on tuberculosis, and here you can see on the slide on the right side that the TB notifications were increasing steadily over a period of time, as you can see, but suddenly see the dip over here. From 2019 to 20, there was a 25% decrease in the TB notification. So that obviously because of the lockdown. And on this window over here, you can see again, this was within 2020. January, February was doing pretty well. And suddenly because of the lockdown, you see this drastic fall in the TB notifications. This shows that the patients of TB were not getting diagnosed. And if they were not getting notified to the concerned health sector. So this automatically happened, and then gradually it slowly picked up also. And that is how it was happening for the last 2 years. So quickly, I'll go through the other parts of tuberculosis, and one is the diagnostic methods. And I'll be focusing on the drug-resistant tuberculosis because in drug-sensitive, there is nothing much to tell. But in drugs-resistant, we have a lot of things going on. As far as TB diagnostics is concerned, there are many changing trends. From 40, 50 years back, from depending upon symptoms and an X-ray, we went on to see the sputum smears. We went on to the solid cultures. We went on to the liquid cultures then. And then we went on to the drug sensitivity testing. And now this is the era of molecular probe diagnostics in the last 5 to 6 years. And that is where we are. So there's a growing shift in the diagnostics, as you can very well see here. And basically the diagnostic approach to a drug-resistant TB depends upon two things: phenotyping methods and genotyping or molecular methods. Phenotyping methods are basically two types again: solid culture media, that is the LJ media, or liquid culture, midget 960. The important thing is that this requires viable bacilli. It also requires a high BSL-3 laboratory facility. It is a more of a laborious and time-consuming process. On the other hand, genotyping of molecular methods are the cartridge-based nucleic acid amplification test, which is the Gene Expert, Ultra Gene Expert, or True Nat, etc., or the line probe assays. Advantages are they are DNA-based, they are more rapid tests, give result very fast. They do not require the BSL-2 or 3 type of facility, and they have a very good 95% concordance with the currently established phenotypic methods. Although one must remember there is no single test which is ideal for drug-resistant TB. So even if no test is actually 100% accurate. Now, what is the future vision of diagnostics? It is to provide a universal drug susceptibility testing to all TB patients. Also, Now, an upfront nucleic acid amplification test, which is known as the gene expert, is to be offered to certain types of presumptive TB also among some certain population, high risk. So even if they are not confirmed microbiologically, we do gene expert in them and we try and get to a diagnosis and resistance at the same time. And we also use a staggered type of testing algorithm using all the newer technologies like what we had already enumerated. That includes the CBNAT and the LPA, which are in line with the WHO guidelines. Coming to the CBNAT, so this is the most widely used test as of now worldwide and in India. The cartridge-based nucleic acid amplification test is a kind of a simple cartridge-based test where sputum is collected in a cartridge. This one, it is liquefied and then it is put inside this particular material, a test cartridge. 2 ml is transferred, cartridge is inserted into this platform, and after this there is no other hands-on work to be done. Everything is automated. So it filters, washes, releases the DNA, it mixes with the dry PCR reagents, and then it gives the real-time amplification and detection, and it gives this kind of a result that MTB detected, yes or no, or it also tells whether low or high, and it tells us whether there is rifampicin resistance being detected or not detected. So in about less than 2 hours of time, this whole thing is made available. So this is the very biggest advantage of this test and kind of a path-breaking diagnostic modality, if we can call it that way. Not just a sputum, it has got its utility in many other non-respiratory specimens. Also, for example, in extrapulmonary tuberculosis, for example, lymph node biopsy, it does very well, as you can see. All other types of tissues, almost 88% sensitivity. Says CSF, it has got a good yield. Pleural fluid, not so good, but decent. Other samples, again, around 60 to 70%. Gastric aspirates in children, which is usually done, also around 80%. So it is a very good test with a high sensitivity, and a positive test provides useful confirmation. But remember, a negative test does not always rule out tuberculosis. In a high index of suspicion, one may need to confirm by other methods as well. Now, we should also remember CBNAT cannot be processed in blood. It also is difficult to process on urine and stool samples because there are no current guidelines issued by the WHO as regard these samples. Another corollary test of this is the True Nat Tb Test, which is also used for the same purpose. There are some advantages. First of all, it is developed by an Indian firm. That is one very big advantage. It can diagnose TB in only 1 hour and also give resistance testing to rifampicin. Only requires 0.5 ml of sample compared to about what is needed for the gene expert. It has battery operated. It is portable, and that is why it can be used at the most basic parts of the healthcare system also, where sometimes the gene expert may be difficult to take. It also works on the principle of PCR, and the only thing is for resistance, one has to do a second RT-PCR on this. So it's a two-step process in that fashion. And this you can see how it works. A portable machine, and the sample is loaded onto it. It is a chip-based test. That is the gene expert is a cartridge-based. This is a chip-based test, and it gives the data within 1 hour. So this is also a very important indigenous kind of a machine, diagnostic machine, which is now being put up at hundreds of centers across the country. Then there are further innovations like the next gen expert or the gen expert ultra assay. It has a larger chamber. It has 2 additional molecular targets. It has the ability to detect a lower number of bacilli as compared to the original gene expert. So 16 bacilli per ml of sputum can be detected compared to around 131 per ml in the gene expert. And now it has been recommended by the WHO for all settings about 3 to 4 years back. So this is also something which is being launched in many countries. So how do we choose which is the optimum diagnostic technology in a suspected patient? The first choice should be the nucleic acid amplification, with whether it is True Nat or gene expert, or it can be by the line probe assay. The second choice can be a liquid culture isolation and drug susceptibility testing. And the third choice can be a liquid culture isolation and a liquid drug susceptibility testing. And we can see the turnaround time, how it differs. Solid LJ media, it takes a long time of several weeks. The liquid culture media takes up to 6 weeks. The line probe assay up to 72 hours, and the NAT test within 2 hours. So this is how it works. And that is why the last two lower two are the ones which are used for rapid diagnosis in our particular setting. Moving on from the diagnosis to the advances in the treatment. Well, treatment, there are a number of guidelines, and this was a guideline by WHO 2017 for drug susceptible tuberculosis. And they also emphasize the need for shorter and simpler drug regimens for drug susceptible tuberculosis, because it is a 6-month long treatment. Compliance is a problem, and lack of compliance leads to emergence of resistance. But so far, we have not really been able to get down below 6 months as far as the treatment of drug susceptible tuberculosis is concerned. If we classify the drug susceptible tuberculosis, we can classify as 2 types. One is the new, that has never been treated before, and those who have been previously treated before as well. The patients may be new sputum smear positive, they may be sputum smear negative, or they may be extrapulmonary TB. Whatever it is, now the treatment is absolutely standard. All of them will receive 2 months of 4-drug ATT of rifampicin, INH, pyrazinamide plus ethambutol. After 2 months, they will switch over to the continuation phase, in which pyrazinamide will be taken off and the remaining 3 drugs will be continued for additional 4 months, giving a total of 6 months therapy. Even in the previously treated tuberculosis patients, whether they are smear positive or they are smear negative, or they are failures or they are defaults, whatever they may be, the treatment regimen still remains the same. So the treatment of DSTB actually has been kind of simplified with only one common regimen per se as of now. Now the challenge comes for the Mdr treatment, and this is the grouping of the multi-drug resistant tuberculosis drugs, and there have been changes in this for the last 2-3 years, and this is the current kind of grouping. The group A, B, and C. In group A, these are the most potent drugs for Mdr TB as of now: quinolones, bedaquiline, and linezolid. It is said that all of these should be included when we make the regimen for Mdr TB. The group B consists of clofazimine or cycloserine, and one or both of these should be added. Group C are all of these. Among these are some injectables, some antibiotics, delaminate, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and these should be added to complete the regimen. When medicines for group A or B cannot be used, then we add a group C. Otherwise, ideally, one should take as many from group A and B as one can, because they are supposed to be the most potent. Coming to the regimens, again, the regimens were pretty confusing a couple of years back, but again, now one has tried to shorten them as far as possible. I'm not talking about drug trials at all, because based on several large drug trials, the different regimens have been changed, regimens have been shortened, and now we have got these regimens for treatment of Mdr. One is the shorter all oral regimen, and that is bedaquiline based regimen, in which 6 months of bedaquiline. This is the latest addition to the armamentarium of anti-TB therapy, bedaquiline. It's a very potent drug. Bedaquiline, along with 4 to 6 months of levoflox, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, clofazimine, ethionamide, and high-dose INH for 6 months or so, and followed by 5 months of, again, these 4 drugs. So this is a total of, say, around 9 to 11 months therapy, shorter all oral bedaquiline based regimen. The second regimen is a shorter injectable regimen. In this, we have an injectable aminoglycoside of kanamycin or amikacin, along with quinolones and all the others as above. This again is almost of the same duration, but this contains injectable instead of bedaquiline. Then the third one is the longer oral regimen, all oral, but it's a longer regimen lasting 18 to 20 months, containing again bedaquiline for 6 months or so, and at least 4 other medications. So total, it's a longer duration. Number of drugs are less. Then the next one is the treatment for INH monoresistance, which we saw was to the tune of almost around 16 to 17%. These patients are treated with either a 6 or a 9 month course of 4-drug ATT, in which INH is replaced by a levofloxacin. That is the only difference which is made over here. So this I just wanted to highlight in very, very brief, without going into too much of details about this, because this is quite, there are a lot more to be said about regimen, but I don't think this is the platform for that. The next important step which has come up in tuberculosis is the tuberculosis preventive treatment, TPT. Now, what is TPT? It means that people who are exposed to tuberculosis patients, especially household contacts, they are at high risk for development of tuberculosis. In fact, almost 20 to 25% of the population of India will have some or the other form of TB infection by means of a non-tube test positivity. Out of those, we have seen a large number of people develop TB annually. In fact, 5 to 10% of people who are exposed to a TB patient will develop TB infection usually within the first 2 years. So they are high-risk people. And in fact, people who are the family members of MDR or rifampicin resistant tuberculosis or INH monoresistant are also at higher risk than contacts who are exposed to a drug-sensitive TB. So these are the high-risk population, vulnerable population that needs to be protected. And that is why they were given chemoprophylaxis, that is TPT, and it was found that they decreased the risk by almost 60 to 90% in different group of patients, including patients living with HIV infection. So again, based on a number of studies, now the focus is moving towards giving preventive therapy to high-risk population. And based on that, there are 2 regimens for drug-sensitive TB contacts, exposed contacts. So give either 6 months of only INH or give 3 months of INH and pyrazinamide. With INH monoresistant exposure, give 4 months of rifampicin. For patients who are exposed to a drug-resistant TB, give 6 months of levofloxacin. So these are the kind of regimens which are there. Of course, this is again an evolution. Tomorrow you may have something more, something new, something different. So a lot of trials are going on in this direction, and we'll have to see how it really helps us in the future. We should also know, when we are talking about anti-tubercular therapy, the drug effects, the adverse drug events. All of these drugs are pretty heavy drugs. They are pretty toxic. Some of them are pretty toxic. When taken together, it becomes difficult to tolerate them to a large extent. Monitoring of side effects is very, very important. And here I've tried to tabulate the important adverse events of most of these drugs. As you can see, they affect varied systems of the body. Commonly, it will be the hepatitis, skin rashes, some nausea, vomiting, GI upsets, thrombocytopenia, again hepatitis and pyrazinamide, streptomycin, as we know, or amikacin, kanamycin will cause renal damage and ear problems and hearing problems, eye problems with ethambutol, skin problems with thiacidazone, etc. So these are, and cycloserine may cause some kind of depression, psychosis, convulsions also, which has to be kept in mind and treated very, very carefully. So these are some adverse events that we should know when we talk about the anti-tubercular drug effects. So coming to the last part, again, we have talked about in very, very brief how the tuberculosis diagnostics and therapies are progressing. And again, more and more research is going on. There are a large number of trials on various combinations of drugs which are existing and others which are in phase of development. So there are so many trials in phase 2, phase 3, or in post-market surveillance also, which are going on. Different combinations, as you can see, different combination of drugs are there, two drugs, 3 drugs, 4 drugs, linezolid type of drugs. So basically, high-dose rifampicin is going on. Some of them have kind of passed from phase 2 to phase 3 also, and some of them from here are actually already approved. So just to show that research is going on and this is likely to continue. In the next couple of years, we might be more wiser. We may have something else, some more additional drugs at our disposal. Then lastly, now this is the era of vaccines, and in tuberculosis also vaccines are being tried, and several vaccine trials are going on in various phases, phase 2 and phase 3. In fact, this trial is one which is going on at our center as well, and we are trying this on household contacts to try and prevent as a prophylaxis against development of tuberculosis. So again, over the next couple of months or years, we may be able to get some good vaccine. This is also a trial which is going on at our center. This is a therapeutic vaccine. So we are doing one trial of a therapeutic vaccine. We are doing one trial of a prophylactic vaccine. So these are just some things which are in the pipeline, and we'll have to see how much they really work. And if they do, it will obviously help us in our fight to end TB by the deadline that we have kept. Lastly, let us remember that there are some benefits the government has given for the health facility and health practitioners. Every private health establishment who notifies a TB patient is eligible for 1,000 rupees per patient notification and reporting of the outcomes. Half is given at notification time and the other half is given at the time when the treatment outcome is reported. So this is just a kind of public-private partnership to ensure that the whole country is working together as a whole and everybody gets a benefit of this whole package. So to conclude, Basically, the management of tuberculosis still remains a big challenge, and we do need constant efforts to fill the global gap of TB notification, as we have already seen. In spite of all our efforts, the MDR, the TB is increasing, and that is something which is threatening the global progress towards the targets which we have set in the NTB strategy. Also, as we have seen in the last couple of years, there has been a constant change in the diagnostics, the treatment management protocols of drug-resistant TB, especially, and that is why adherence to national programs and the guidelines actually remains the need of the hour, because things are changing. Every year a new guideline or an updated guideline is coming up with a few changes. It is important for all of us to be aware about those changes and to follow them as closely as possible. Otherwise, if all of us try to treat tuberculosis in a different manner, then we are likely to harm the whole system rather than benefit. So this is something that is very, very important. And with these few words, I think we are all working together to end TB, and it's time that we really work hard to end TB. And with that, thank you very much for a very patient hearing, and sorry for the time taken up in the slides. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was really illuminating, and in such a short, concise time, you've given us the entire expanse of the TB treatment, diagnosis, and management. It's truly, we are enlightened, and I think benefited.
वो कहते हैं कि गागर में सागर भर दिया इतने कम समय में. Sir has covered up the entire expanse of TB management, and with as a doyen in the field, he still says that it remains a challenge, and MDR TB would remain a challenge, but somehow or the other, we would really like to know that this entire COVID preparedness, it has bolstered, it has, I would say, streamlined the entire health reporting in a big way. So that we would be hearing from the other state TB officials who are there with us, and also the district TB officials. Thanks a lot, Professor Mohan. और आज Professor Mohan की ही गरिमामय उपस्थिति में हम आज इस देश के कुछ चुने हुए डिस्ट्रिक्ट टीबी ऑफिशियल्स को सम्मानित करना चाहेंगे. प्रोफेसर मोहन, जितना समय भी उनका सानिध्य हमें मिल सकेगा, हम उसके लिए आभारी रहेंगे. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, वी वुड लाइक टू felicitate Dr. Bhargav Dave from the Dang district of Gujarat. The Dang district, as we all know, is a tribal district, and somehow the other, for whatever reasons, the state of Gujarat in the ranking, what we had shown, is still performing almost third last state, having a higher degree of TB notifications in the last 3 months. Maybe Dr. Dave would be he's the district TB officer of the Dangs, Gujarat, and he is here with us. We request Dr. Bhargav Dave to come and receive this token appreciation and from this August forum, and in the esteemed presence of Professor Mohan and other eminent guests over here. Dr. Dave.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
We would like Dr. Dave to just share his experiences as the district TB officers as to what strategies, what works is working for him, just as a commemoration out here. We would like to know his very personal story in this war against TB. TB हारेगा और देश जीतेगा. Dr. Dave.
Yes, sir. First of all, as you know, the Dang is a very full, actually tribal district of the Gujarat. There are many natural problems here, like there is a dense forest, less road connectivity, mobile connectivity, network connectivity is also very poor in this Dang district of Gujarat. And so because of that, also there is no chance of employment, very less employment opportunity for the people. So there is a huge migration from this after Diwali to up to May. There is a huge migration we are facing in the district. Because of that, my notification and all the indicators are suffering. Necessary notification last 3 months, I am going into the bottom of the state. Because of that, people are migrated to the in Maharashtra district nearby or near the Surat district for the labor work. So because I am for the increased notification and other purpose, I have made some different strategies to increase my all the TB indicators. yeah, there is also some problem that doctors, like MBBS doctors also coming in very less in primary health center and CSC health center because this is as a remote area. So and whenever they are coming, they left early the job due to resign because of the natural the other foods and other residence problems in the health center. So whatever the reason, that's why I have changed my focus to increase the notification on the other paramedical workers like lab technicians and pharmacists who are the available for the health facility from 9 to 6 at the health center. So I am focusing and encouraging and sensitizing for the about the NTP program. So to increase the referral for the sputum. Whenever there is from OPD patients and their indoor patients, they staff nurse and other paramedical workers encourage to increase them any force characteristics symptomatic patients for screening of the tuberculosis, X-ray and other by means. And I also focusing on the field workers like ASA who is working as in every village, 1,000 population, and they are very much aware about their village situation. And so I am focusing on there provide as government also providing incentive for the informal incentive and other incentive for the treatment supporter as also. So my in last 9 months as a DTO of the Dang district, I have focused on the main their ASA sensitization to bring the increase the referral from there to bring the another to adherence to increase the treatment adherence for the TB patients as they are providing support as a treatment supporter. So this is my efforts somewhat. And also as a today, I also as a World TB Day celebration, I encourage to all our health staff of the health facility to make a rangoli work and other poster competitions at their health center and to take the TB pledge pratikna. That we will eliminate the tuberculosis up to 2025. That is our main goal of this Dang district. And last year we have applied for the sub-national certification for bronze, but due to some cases related, we have failed in the bronze certificate. But this year we are going for the sub-national gold certificate, gold criteria, in which we are trying to prove that Dang district has reduced the incidence of tuberculosis drastically. So that is my efforts. My whole team is working to increase the incidence, to increase the notification, and by that, more putting the patient on the treatment, we will control the tuberculosis in the district. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. What an enthusiasm and commitment and innovations you have garnered over there. And as the Honorable Prime Minister says, that it always remains a challenge to, I would say, to treat these communicable diseases in the remote corners of the country where our mainstream health professionals, as you rightly said, they're not so very willing to serve over there. And the way you have brought about the paramedic staff and the entire ASHA network, this is truly inspirational. Thank you so much, sir. And we really congratulate you for your sustained efforts. And we really hope that Dang district will really emerge to the levels what you have envisaged for. Moving forward, we would also like to felicitate Dr. Prasad Patil, who happens to be the chest physician and city TB officer at the Thane Municipal Corporation, Maharashtra. And along with, as Dr. Dave said, that somewhere it has a lot of migratory population. So Maharashtra also has a very lower index in terms of, it has a very higher level of TB notifications per lakh of population. But yes, the state is moving hard, working hard, and the new state TB officer, they are working for newer strategies. And at Rethink India, we are planning to have a kind of a roundtable with Maharashtra on Maharashtra Divas, because these communicable diseases, they need a whole systems approach. And somewhere or the other, the way in which the entire country came together to combat the Asur of COVID, probably these communicable diseases, if we can have that whole systems approach, somehow or the other, it can really help us move forward, further and forward. Dr. Patil has not been able to join us. Moving forward, we also would like to felicitate Dr. Manoj Kumar for his great good works in the sacred district of Sitamarhi in Bihar. And all our participants would, that Bihar happens to be the second largest second topmost state in the large scale category, which has a very few TB notifications per lakh of population. So with the inspired and committed officers, Dr. Manoj Kumar and others, Bihar is doing really very, very good. And his nomination in terms of the kind of innovation strategies, what he is developing in the district of Sitamarhi, the district associated with goddess Sita, it brings back those memories to us. So we would like to felicitate him from this forum. We also would like to felicitate Dr. Sunil Kumar. Again, he comes from Delhi, where all the 3 municipal corporations are now being merged into one. And Delhi, by dint of being, I would say, melting point of all migration from all across North India, probably. It has a very high incidence, in fact, the highest incidence of TB notifications. Dr. Sunil Kumar is working quite well on this front here, so we would like to felicitate him as well. And from the state of Haryana, the Deputy Civil Surgeon TB, Dr. Kumari Indu, we also like to felicitate on this occasion. They are all very busy combating and having special screening camps on this World TB Day, because this is an occasion where they have to improve upon their charts and all. So with these individual felicitations, we now move to the core of it all. We felt like let the individual TB warriors, the torchbearers, as we say, they should be felicitated first and the foremost. And next, yes, and also we have a nomination from the lovely land of Kashmir. Desh, कहते हैं धरती पर अगर स्वर्ग है तो वो कश्मीर में है. We know Kashmir for all the other reasons, but then Kashmir is really working very, very hard, and we have seen it on a very higher rank of TB stopping. So Dr. Adfar Qadri, the district TB officer from Badgaon in Kashmir, we would like to felicitate and remember his great works, what he is doing. So these nominations came with a lot of elaborate notifications, notes, the kind of innovative practices they are doing. And perhaps the National TB Mission will take cognizance of these individual innovative practices and communicate to the others as well. So it's now the time to celebrate Lakshadweep, the cluster of island, I would say, Union Territory. And they have this figure. It's a very interesting figure. Like COVID showed us the value of data, the way real-time data was assimilated and reported from across the nook and cranny of the globe. So perhaps this Nikshay data, this entire platform which is out there, and as Professor Mohan illumined us that there is an incentive, there's a whole structure around that. So let these figures become our guiding beacons, and we would like to recognize, felicitate the topmost torchbearer of tuberculosis, the TB cell of UT of Lakshadweep, led by Dr. C.G. Mohammad Jameel. The entire team from the TB cell of Union Territory of Lakshadweep is with us. We would really like to felicitate them. We would like to invite them to accept this token tribute from this forum and say a few words about their missionary approach by which they have achieved. Like they are showing us in 2022 that look, it can be done. We can come to these notifications despite we are not having the marginal error, as Professor Mohan showed that during the lockdown period. This data is based on the time period between 1st of January 2022 to 18th of March. So no bias, nothing of that sort. So what has happened, like the corporate balance sheets we all see on the stock market. So probably there is a stock market, there's a health market, and where we try to monitor these statistics almost on a quarterly basis. So we would request Dr. Jalil and his team to accept this token tribute and address this forum. So.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to everybody. Am I audible?
Yeah,
sir. Am I audible?
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this felicitation. Actually, Lakshadweep, we know, Lakshadweep has got a lot of advantages, some situations for elimination. Being geographically isolated from mainland, we have the risk for exposure and risk for exposure of TB is very low. That is one of the most important advantage. Then the next thing is TB control. Here in Lakshadweep, TB control is fully integrated with the existing health system, whether it is a hospital, CSC or PSC. It is fully integrated with the hospital. There is no private sector also. The health only public sector is the sole health provider. So almost all the TB cases which are reaching in hospital health facilities, we are able to screen them specifically for TB. Our doctors, our other staff, they're all well trained, and they're all well aware of this elimination process also. So they all will cooperate, and we are not losing any, even a single case. So being the only health provider, so we are able to see, we are able to manage all the cases, and there is no chance of leaving any case undiagnosed. Then the other thing is, advantage is being a small place with a small size of population, we are able to monitor each and every case of either the patient or the contacts personally. Our health worker and health providers, they are able to see them very frequently, then manage the cases and follow up. And the lost follow-up is not at all an issue here, because people are usually health conscious. They will come forward on their own, and moreover, our health workers are able to follow up them personally. Then other advantages compared to other places, the in-migration is comparatively low. So we are able to come. That is the cases from outside are able to be. We are able to monitor each and every cases who are coming from, because they will be, government sector being the only health provider for all health issues, they will have to come to the government sector only. And we have a setup with the panchayat and even with the police that on their arrival, if they have any symptoms, usually they will be asked to report the government facility, and they will be screened for the diseases. Then another advantage is here we don't have any industry, there is no air pollution. The area, this is actually surrounded by the sea. The air is very good, atmospheric air is very good. There is no industries. Being without any industries, I mean, we don't have the issue of air pollution also. Then when compared to other places, I believe we have a low prevalence of key determinants of TB, like malnutrition, whether it is malnutrition or alcoholism or smoking or even the other infectious diseases also. So even diabetes also when compared to other places. Then we have low incidence. Then standard of actually the presence of fair equity in standard of living among the general public is also an advantage for us for health activities. Then there has as I've told you, sir, it being a small place and population is also size is also small. We have a very good rapport. Means the healthcare providers have a very good rapport with the general public, whether it is PRI members or community or religious leaders. Their cooperation is where since we are having a very good rapport. They are cooperating with us in all levels and unexpectedly and to our expectation. Then so far. At present, we don't have any Mdr Tb also, only Dex sensitivity. Then we have NAT facility in almost all the islands, except one island, which is very small with a population of less than 300. There we have microscopy facility. That in other islands, we have NAT facility. All the cases are it is being subjected to NAT test. Then I think it is being governed by a district administration. The political as well as the administrative commitment is also very high in, compared to maybe the, other places.
Lovely.
Then we are able to apart from this hospital level screening of presumptive TB, we are able to cover our whole population always. The last 3 years we have conducted for the whole population based. From this year onwards, we are planning for a quarterly whole population based. So in the last year, we could not find any cases, but in the last case, we got 7 cases. So, sir, from this year onwards, maybe by this, it has been declared today by the advisor to the Honorable Administrator, Dr. Sri Ambarasu sir, IAS, in the today morning function. So we will start the ACF, quarterly whole population based ACF from 1st of April onwards probably. Then there is then of course the dedication of our staff. I am the TB officer for the last 2 years only. Before that, this is the effort of my predecessors and the TB officials who are the almost the permanent staff of this, regular staff of this program. So this is all about, sir. If anything to be clarified, then.
Lovely, lovely. I think Dr. Jalil is quite a humble person that he puts on the entire credit largely to the locational advantages. But then we also know for sure that managing and administering such a scattered set of islands, as Sir himself said, that all the islands are internet connected and we have NAT facilities, as Professor Mohan was talking all about it. So it's the commitment and dedication of it all. Because all these union territories, they have their own set of challenges. And within those set of challenges, if you have delivered so very well, it is so very heartening. And you have given a hope that yes, TB can be eliminated. You have shown us that yes, 3 years before the time we have come to such a metric for the last 3 months. And for that, sir, we really congratulate you and we really salute you and the entire team, the kind of commitment, and you said the kind of rapport which all the health workers have with the population. Probably this becomes intoxicating and this becomes more contagious for our other states to emulate. And probably in one of the roundtables which we plan to conduct the whole through the year, Dr. Jalil will address the other operational statistics, the other, I would say, intangible tangibles, which the UT of Lakshadweep is delivering, and being on the top of it all is really heartening and it is so very inspiring. Before I move on and to felicitate one of the, I would say, one of the Ashtasakhis of Northeast, as Prime Minister chose it, and the state of Tripura, which is very high on so many other indices. We have got Dr. Manoj Kumar. Dr. Manoj Kumar has joined us, and as I said, he comes from the land of Sitamarhi, Bihar, as the district TB officer. We would like to felicitate him as a Torchbearer of Tuberculosis. Dr. Manoj Kumar, we would request you to come over and accept this token tribute from this August forum and share a bit of your journey, and before and then we will move on to the state felicitations. Dr. Manoj Kumar. I think he's here with us.
Kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah. So as Dr. Dave was saying that our health facilities, the kind of internet connections in remote places in Sitamarhi happens to be one of those northern districts of the state of Bihar. We all know about the topography over there. Dr. Manoj Kumar, sir.
It's 16 hours.
I think you can call her. Dr. Manoj Kumar, yeah, sir.
Request to unmute yourself, sir. Please kindly put on the camera.
Okay, we'll come back to him when sir joins in. Now the second best torchbearer of tuberculosis happens to be the state of Tripura, and for our great good esteem, our chairperson, Shri R.K. Vaishya, he happens to be one of the, I would say, movers and shakers of the Tripura administration. And before I invite the state TB officer, we have got Shri S. No.
Dr. Sunil Kumar Burman could not make it.
Okay.
Because of the program.
So Burman sir, we have got.
He's from Andaman Nicobar.
Acha, SP Burma sir is from Andaman Nicobar. Okay, so you request our chairperson of Rethink India Institute and also the former principal resident commissioner of the state of Tripura, Shri R.K. Vash, to accept this token tribute on the behalf of the state of Tripura, and also illumine us as to what makes this northeastern state in particular so very high on so many other developmental indices. So over Shri R.K. Vash sir.
Thank you, Raghav and Dr. Survi. You see, Tripura, health is, I think, is very high priority area, among high priority areas for the Tripura government. You know, the Chief Minister himself is the Health Minister. And Tripura has also the advantage of, very aware public, very both politically and socially also, very aware people. And it also has strong, body at the block level, at the taluka level, and a very good network of primary health centers and sub-centers. And Tripura's outreach also has been very good during last so many years, and on the top of it, Tripura also has the good, tradition of good governance. And I have myself served there for a long time, and both the administration and also healthcare system are very accountable, and and the people also are very conscious, health conscious. So both ways, it has a good network of ASHA workers, and at the sub-center level, in the field areas. And so all this, I think, is has given this good progress so far as Tripura is concerned. And TB's eradication is a challenge, is indeed a challenge, as you said, and Dr. Mohan also apprised us. And so I think all these factors are responsible for Tripura's such high ranking. And thank you very much, Rethink India, for being for taking this initiative for on this TB, on this National World TB Day. I think it will go a long way, what you are contemplating, to have round tables, and it will go a long way, and it will help us eliminate TB. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. And as sir said himself, that it is the accountable administration and a Jagrup public which Tripura has. This makes two to tango, perhaps. So thank you, Tripura, for, and it is the second best torchbearer of tuberculosis, and as we can see the statistics, it goes thrice as far as Lakshadweep is concerned, because it is still connected to the mainland, but then it still gives a lot of hope that yes, we are on the verge of eliminating such a major communicable disease. We would be having Dr. Vipul Prakash at the end of this all to sum it up all, a young pulmonologist who has been a COVID warrior, like in the I would say in the wards and a lot of things, a younger perspective, he would be giving it to us. Moving forward, we have, yes, the state of Kerala, one of the bigger states, but then, yes, it is the third best torchbearer of tuberculosis, and the state TB cell led by Dr. Sunil Kumar M is giving that direction. And Kerala, as we all know, that it has one of the highest health metrics all across. The God's own country is protected by God himself and an accountable administration. And so moving forward, we also have one of the northeastern states. And as Dr. Jalil said, that having a smaller state helps. And at Rethink India, we will try to correlate between the tuberculosis incidences and the COVID incidence, which has happened. Probably those will bring about some new data-driven learnings for our TB administration as well. So the TB cell of state of Manipur, it ranks fourth as the fourth best torchbearer on this World Tuberculosis Day 2022, led by Dr. Thangpa Serto. Moving forward, the TB cell of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, led by Dr. Rubina, it comes at the fifth rank over there, and with around 15.89 TB notifications per lakh of population registered in the last 3 months or so. That is the kind of statistics. So we invited each one of them, but then it's a big, big day. And many of the state TB officials, they wanted to come in, but then on the field engagements took them over there, and they thanked, and they said that they will continue this drive and fight against this pandemic of a sort. Moving forward, there's the neighboring state, the newly reorganized Union Territory of Ladakh, led by Dr. Motib Dorje, and the statistics you can see are quite similar, but then Ladakh has a bit higher incidence of TB notifications, as we can see over here. The state of West Bengal, it happens to be the topmost largest state, having population of around 10 crore people, and it has an TB incidence of 17.94. So somewhere on the fairer mark, but yes, that is the kind of stats we are having. Then again, going back to the northeastern state of Assam, which ranks 8th on this metric, what we have, Dr. Abhijit Basu is leading, but yes, it is far away from Tripura, which has, because in the northeastern context, with the similar set of, I would say, complexities, the state of Assam is still on the farther side, but yes, they are doing a pretty well job. Moving forward, yes, from the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which have a same set of conditioning, it happens to be the 9th best torchbearer of tuberculosis, and we have the TB cell of the UT is led by Dr. S.P. Burma, and we have with us Dr. S.P. Burma to receive this token tribute from this August forum and share his very views and strategies over there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Andaman Nicobar Island is completely different from any part of India. It extends around 700 kilometers. In north from Myanmar to in south, it is going up to Sumatra in Indonesia. So it's a stretch of 700 kilometer area, and its islands are 572 islands. So it's like a necklace which is extending from north from Myanmar to south to Sumatra. We are having 572 islands, and out of these 572 islands, 38 islands are inhabited. And these islands are separated by open sea. So here the logistic is a very big problem. And we have got around 122 subcenters, out of which 80 has been declared as a health and wellness center. We have got 22 PSCs, 4 CSCs, 2 district hospitals, and 1 medical college at Port Blair. The Gilipam Hospital, which was the district headquarters hospital, has been converted into medical college. So we have got a medical college now in Andaman Nicobar Island. But our state TB cell is now almost fully equipped. Now we have got a Mdr Tb senior medical officer who is a pulmonologist, she's sitting here, Dr. Nisa. Then from medical college side, we are having assistant professor, Dr. Natraj, he is the assistant professor, and I am the professor of pulmonary medicine in the medical college. And 2 young doctors are here. Dr. Vignesh is a junior resident in the medical college, and Dr. Mitul, she is the medical officer DTC. So we have the population is around 4 lakhs, and we have a floating population of around 6 lakhs per year. It's the tourist. It's one of the major tourist attraction in India. So we have got around 6 lakh tourists per year, those who visit Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And the other aspect is that the Temple of India, the cellular gel. The cellular gel is where I am sitting here. It is just in front of me, and for me, it is the Temple of India. If we are now talking to each other, it is because of the sacrifices made by our forefathers who were incarcerated here in this jail. I wish I could show you jail, but I don't have the camera. And our Veer Savarkar, the freedom fighter, he was in this jail for 10 years. So because of their sacrifices, now we have reached to this stage. And Andaman and Nicobar Island, if I tell you regarding the cases, number of cases, we had around 900 cases during 2011. So after the implementation of the program and after the manpower has increased, now we have come down to 500 cases. Last year, we have detected 510 cases in Andaman and Nicobar Island. But the problem is the Nicobar group of islands, where the transportation is a big problem. And mostly we travel by helicopter. Even we transport medicines by helicopter. We transport sputum samples by helicopter from Campbell Bay, which is hardly 150 kilometers from Sumatra. It is more nearer to Sumatra than to Port Blair. So it takes around 3 hours by helicopter. If I want to visit Campbell Bay, which is the largest second island in Andaman and Nicobar Island group of islands, it takes me around 3 hours by helicopter. And if I want to go by ship, it takes me around 3 days. So you can see the problem, the challenges in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and 38 islands are inhabited. And the weather condition, we get monsoon, both southwest monsoon as well as the northeast monsoon. So it almost rains 7 to 8 months in a year, and we face difficult weather challenges. So difficult geographical condition, communication, and the weather condition, it's a real big challenge for us. But one thing is good, that our basic infrastructure of our health system and the commitment of the administration is very good. And the people also, our particularly the ASA workers, those who are working in remote islands, they are the best workers, the ASA workers. They bring sputum sample to the nearby CBNAT sites, to the DMCs. We have got 4 CBNAT sites. 2 are in the Nicobar district. One is in that headquarters Nicobar, and one is at Nankori group of island, which covers around, say, 10 islands it covers. So the people, they come to Nankori, it covers this group of islands, people staying in those islands. Then in the north, there is Mayabandar, it is the headquarters of North and Middle Andaman district. That also covers around 1.2 lakh population. And the Nicobar group, it covers around 50,000 population. So most of the population is in South Andaman district. We have got 3 districts, and each district has got 3 blocks. So South Andaman district is having the maximum population around 2.5 lakhs. Because of our commitment of our workers, particularly our ANMs, our ASA workers, our medical officers who are working in the PSCs and CSCs in remote standalone islands. Sometimes the only communication is helicopter. But if the weather is bad, then the helicopter also stops operating. So you can see the challenges we are facing here in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. But we are trying our best with our team we are trying to bring down the level of tuberculosis to 160 by 2025. Now we are having 510 cases, so we are trying to bring it down to 160. That is 40 per lakh by 2025 to eliminate tuberculosis in Andaman Nicobar Island. So this is our target. So we are trying our best to bring down the level of tuberculosis in Andaman Nicobar Island. And the workers who are coming from West Bengal, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, and of course some are from Odisha. We are trying to, when they are going back without informing us, after diagnosis in Andaman Nicobar Island, without informing us, they are going back to their own places. So we are going to track them. That's a problem for us. Our success rate is 86% now. So we want to cross 90%. So because of this migration of some of the patients, our success rate is, we are not able to achieve 90%. So that we are trying, we have to do, and we are trying our best to cooperate with West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and Tamil Nadu. Mostly Tamil Nadu, Andhra, and West Bengal. So to track this patient and to see that after going back from this place, from Andamans, they are put on treatment in their native places. And we are giving our DBT is 96%. Every patients, they are being given the 500 rupees per month. And we are trying to involve, even though the private sector are not that many, but we are trying all the private practitioners to be involved in the program. And most of them are involved and they are reporting in the care portal. But the number of cases in the private sector are very less. It is mostly the public sector. And our people, they cooperate with us. And because of that, Andaman Nicobar Island has got the second position in UT cadre. Today we were felicitated by the Minister of Health, Sri Manoj Kumar Delhi. We got the second position award in UT cadre.
Yes.
And as for your we ranked 9th in India. So thank you. And this motivates us to work more and to go towards eliminating TB from Andaman Nicobar Islands by 2025. And as for Sustainable Development Goal, it's 2030, but as our Prime Minister has declared that we will eliminate by 2025. So we are trying our best to do it.
Thanks.
And thank you. We thank you for felicitating us in World TB Day. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Verma. And Sir has said the Andaman Nicobar Islands, Sir has said that it looks like a small group, but it is a group of 572 islands. And Sir has shown the kind of complications. And as Lakshadweep has featured first on the UT list, and in our list as well, if we subcategorize it, Andaman Nicobar comes as a second best in the UT category, but then we try to make it a linear scale so that we can show that even our smaller and more challenging spaces and the spirit of Savarkar, the way Dr. Verma invoked it, probably that is the spirit of freeing TB se azadi ki jo bhavana hai, what Dr. Verma has initiated is really intoxicating, and it should really unfurl all across. And as Sir himself said, that the migrant population which is coming from West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Odisha, there has to be tracing and things like that over there. So probably our experiences, our learnings from the COVID pandemic, the kind of healthcare boosting up which has happened would probably help us. And like what Nitin Gadkari ji says, that we are finishing off some of the infrastructural projects before deadlines. So somehow the other are these isolated, but the magnanimous island constellations, they would be able to treat and defeat this disease much earlier than the expected date. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Burman, and pay our humble obeisances and regards to that temple of India, that cellular jail ki jahan par आत्माहूत कर कर अपने आप को इस देश को स्वतंत्र किया, वही भावना हमको पूरे देश भर में प्राप्त हो. वी प्रे थ्रू यू, वी वांट टू pay our floral tributes to that तीर्थ of आजादी के अमृत वर्ष में उस तीर्थ के प्रति. Moving forward, the state of Tamil Nadu is just some bits ahead than the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It happens to be the 10th best torchbearer of tuberculosis and the second best large state, having a population of a larger magnitude and led by Dr. Asha Frederick. The challenges somewhere are of transportation, logistics, somewhere the challenges are of migration of population. So there are differential set of challenges, but it's still our state TB cell heads are working so very hard, and somewhere or the other there is a feeling that India could defeat or India could stop the COVID pandemic in a big way because of the kind of infrastructure which was already in place because of our TB network. Still the US is having a large number of COVID numbers they are clocking in. So we had a huge public funded TB programs, and we could rein in this communicable disease because of this as well. So somewhere or the other, you happen to be clandestine or silent COVID warriors as well in some way or the other. Maybe some of the other researchers or things will be coming towards that. The TB cell of the state of Bihar ranks at 11th in the overall category, but it happens to be the third best large state. So this is quite a accomplishment for the state of Bihar. We had Dr. Manoj Kumar from Sitamarhi. We have lost him because yes, still communication remains a challenge. But yes, we would like to recognize the efforts of Dr. B.K. Mishra and his team, which is making Bihar a TB-free state in all fashions. The state of Chhattisgarh happens to be the 12th best TB state, TB notifications led by Dr. Y.K. Sharma. We would like to acknowledge their contributions on this World TB Day. It's a day of commemoration of their operational efforts, because as Professor Mohan said that yes, MDR is one part of the story. There are still challenges, drug trials. Yes, that's on the advanced part of it all. But then the challenge is more on the operational plane. The challenge is to notify, the challenge is to make sure that the basic TB patients are completing their course of medicines. So whatever can be treated. So that is where the real administrative and operational challenge lies, in which you all state TB officials are really doing a human job over there. The state of Karnataka, it happens to be the fourth best large TB state and the 13th best in the overall national category. The national average as per this was around 35.74. So we have chosen all those states which are below the national average. The other states, the mirror image, they have to learn from these states. So 22 states in the year 2022 is what a kind of a coincidence which we could land up at. Dr. Ramesh Chandra Reddy from Karnataka, he's leading this TB war, elimination of TB from the state of Karnataka. Again, we move on to the small state of Meghalaya, which ranks at 14th, led by Dr. M. Mauri. So yes, Tripura still stands outlier because of, as they said, an accountable governance somewhere or the other. So our other smaller states have to a great deal to learn, but yet they are doing much better from others as well. And as Dr. Burman was saying, Odisha, yes, it is a higher incidence of 25.21 TB notifications per lakh in the last 3 months. It can keep on wavering. And it is the 15th best torchbearer of tuberculosis state, led by Dr. Prasanta Kumar Hota. Now we have been joined in by Dr. Manish Gaunekar. Goa elected a new government just very recently, and the TB cell of the small lovely beach state of Goa ranked 16th, and they have a TB notification incidence of 26.67. We would request Dr. Gaunekar to receive this token tribute from this August platform and illumine us about the kind of strategies and the kind of challenges they are facing and how they plan to TB harega or Desh jeetega or Goa jeetega. Dr. Manish Gaunekar, sir. Manish Gavnekar, sir. Yeah, he's there with us. He's coming. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sir, actually our SDO has just gone for an urgent meeting. He was here. He just left it 10 minutes ago.
Okay, ma'am. Maybe you can receive this token and introduce yourself and on behalf of sir. And maybe if he comes back, we will, the program is still there, so he can speak that time. So.
If you could speak a few words, ma'am. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, ma'am. I am Dr. Janashta, medical officer, State TB Test. And we also have Dr. Anand Parikar, who's also a medical officer, State TB Cell. And we also have Dr. Theon and Dr. Svetlana, all who are medical officers working with the program.
So, anything you would like to tell us about the practices here in the state of Goa, how you have met with this challenge of eliminating TB?
Yes, ma'am. So actually, Goa has moved to upfront NAT since 2020. So all patients are offered molecular diagnostic at the earliest. So that is, I think, Goa is one of the first states to offer upfront NAT across the country.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great.
So we will wait for Dr. Gavnekar if he joins in, we continue on. Moving forward, we congratulate the lovely state of Goa to have fared so very well on the TB notifications index over there. The lovely state, the organic state of Sikkim, it fares at 17th best Torchbearer of tuberculosis led by Dr. Ashok Kumar Rai. We move on and we have the state of Jharkhand. This is one anomaly we are finding, that the larger state is way ahead. Bihar is way ahead and Jharkhand is way below. But somehow or the other, it remains in the top 22 at the 18th best ranking out here, led by Dr. Ranjit Prasad. Also, the northeastern state of Mizoram is at 19th by dint of the population stuff and all. But yes, when it comes to Tripura at second, Mizoram with a similar set of conditions, it has a way forward, removing the 31.35 mark. And the Arunodaya, the northeastern state, the Arunachal Pradesh, is at the 20th best torchbearer of tuberculosis in the overall ranking, led by Dr. Moin Nyoru. And the state of Telangana, led by Dr. A. Rajesham, at 21st best. So Telangana is doing fairly much better than Andhra. That is what this is showing. They just got bifurcated. KCR Garu is leading the health facilities in a bigger way, it seems. So that's the kind of correlations will be happening. And the last, which we ranked, the state of Punjab, it touches very closely the national average of 34.75. And it got a new chief minister, a new political formulation. So probably it's a kind of a median, it's kind of that cusp from where the rankings get on a different plane. So with this, we move on to the close of this World TB Day commemorations with the, I would say, the learnings and the kind of, I would say, the kind of operational challenges. Professor Mohan talked a lot about the medical aspect of it all, the researchers, the innovations, the MDR part of it. Dr. Vipul Prakash, who is the consultant critical care of pulmonary medicine and sleep disorders at Medanta, Lucknow. And UP is quite a way down still on the TB count, but let's see how in this new government things move on. So Dr. Vipul Prakash, we would like to invite to conclude. And on the operational challenges, the real grassroots challenges which our state TB officials, our district TB officials and the entire TB network. And if he can also give us a kind of a peep into the kind of correlation between COVID and tuberculosis and how the COVID infrastructure which has developed can help or not help, perhaps, we don't know, in our fight against TB. Over to Dr. Vipul Prakash.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the invitation. Please allow me to share my screen, sir.
Yeah, you have the permission, I think. Yeah, please. You can. I will, yeah. Please share. You can share, Dr. Prakash.
Yes, sir. Yes. There is some problem with this screen sharing. Displays. Okay. Sir, is it visible?
We are yet to.
Probably I'll not be able to share it, sir.
No worries. With your experience, you can illumine us by your words alone.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'll try. Just a minute. So probably actually I have not included any facts and figures. It's just a small presentation and I'll try to summarize the event. Is it still not visible, no, sir? Hello, sir. Not visible?
Yeah, not visible, sir.
Okay, okay, sir. So I'll be speaking without sharing the screen, sorry.
Sure.
So basically, I thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the kind introduction and invitation. I'll be speaking on the topic patient care issues and challenges in the TB management. Basically, first of all, I would like to congratulate all the Torchbearers and state TB officials, district TB officials and grassroots workers for their tremendous effort. So basically, I would like to summarize epidemiology of the tuberculosis from Global Tuberculosis Report 2021. I have removed facts and figures, but TB is amongst the leading cause of mortality worldwide, and it ranks 13th. And we are lagging behind from our goals. Basically, if we'll go through the article which was published, Global Tuberculosis Report, it was from WHO 2021 report. So we'll see that we have to make more and more efforts to achieve our goals. And as said already by Anand Mohan sir and various other TB officials, India and the world has a very tremendous setback during COVID-19 from TB perspective. Notifications had gone down and there's decreased notifications as well as increased deaths. These are from Global Tuberculosis reports I am speaking. So we are basically we are doing well, but we are trying to do better, and we will do better in the future, hopefully. So basically, what are the challenges and issues in the TB management? So there are so many challenges we have already discussed amongst various TB officials. They have stated about problems at outreach areas, weather conditions, poverty, poor nutrition, lack of funds, social stigma, and lack of awareness. All these are challenges. Being a clinician, I would like to draw your attention towards some of the major clinical problems in the TB management, which are challenges. And I'll be speaking on this topic from a clinician's perspective. So first of all, I would like to take into account the delay in the diagnosis of pulmonary tuberculosis and extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Whenever we take tuberculosis into account, it is mostly pulmonary tuberculosis, and it is mostly tuberculosis which is pulmonary tuberculosis. Pulmonary tuberculosis becomes significant because it is a highly contagious disease. But we should not forget extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Extrapulmonary tuberculosis are way more difficult to diagnose and to treat. Diagnostic part is probably the most difficult one. So we should try to collect microbiological evidence of tuberculosis, whether it is pulmonary tuberculosis or extrapulmonary tuberculosis. If facilities for such a for any intervention which is needed and it is not available at our setup, so we can seek opinion from referral centers in order to microbiologically confirm the disease and achieve samples. So from diagnostic perspective, I think it should be done. Second problem, I think, is emergence of resistance. It is very important. So adequate dosage and duration of the treatment is very important. It should be, basically, it is known that tubercular bacilli, if not adequately treated, they are going to develop resistance. It is for sure. That's why adequate dosage and duration of drugs are important. We should avoid using some of the anti-tubercular medications, like Anand Mohan sir has mentioned in his slides. Group 8 anti-tubercular drugs for DRTB treatment, levofloxacin, linezolid. These drugs are very frequently used in common clinical practice. At many places, these are over-the-counter medications. So we should try to avoid these medications, use of these medications, unless and until it is very necessary. And if we do have even slight suspicion of tuberculosis, their avoidance of their use becomes mandatory. Otherwise, if basically we will be using a single medication, levofloxacin, so definitely the TB bacilli which is there inside the body will develop resistance to it. So even if we are not able to achieve microbiological confirmation, in many cases we are not able to achieve microbiological confirmation due to difficult sampling sites, due to lack of facilities, and even if even after everything, basically if we do each and everything in order to get a sample, many a times it is not possible to microbiologically confirm the disease. So in those cases, clinically diagnosed tuberculosis is diagnosis of clinically diagnosed pulmonary tuberculosis or extrapulmonary tuberculosis is labeled. And in those cases, basically in order to look for the resistant tuberculosis, the only option remains is to follow the patient very closely. So if microbiological confirmation could not be achieved, the empirical treatment is being started. Patient is to be followed up very closely. And DRTB should be ruled out with phenotypic and genotypic testing after microbiological confirmation, and that has been mandatory in the program as well. Education of the patients and their contacts about disease process and preventive measures is very important. Patients should be pre-informed about importance of appropriate treatment, disease process and side effects. Many a times patient starts taking treatment and develops some sort of minor side effects and it stops it. So emphasis should be given to revert back to the center if patient develops side effects and issues issues should be promptly resolved. So the next one is emergence of resistance. So I have spoken already about it. So basically the next one is misdiagnosis. Misdiagnosis, many a times we have seen patients working at a tertiary care center at AIMS and KGMU. We have seen patients being treated for pulmonary tuberculosis or extrapulmonary tuberculosis, and they ultimately turned out to be malignant disease or interstitial pneumonia or some other sort of process, nocardiosis, etc. Although these tuberculosis is one of the most common diseases in our country, but differential diagnosis should always be kept in the mind. And we have seen many phases of tuberculosis. We have seen patients with coming with a lung mass and ultimately it has turned out to be tuberculosis. But these are in rare clinical scenarios. So when we are treating a patient with pulmonary nodules and labeling them as a case of pulmonary tuberculosis, a patient with mass, interstitial pneumonia, pleural effusion, so always try to gather microbiological evidence for tuberculosis. The next one is improper treatment and lack of notification. Basically, lack of notification is a very big problem, and India, as compared to 2019, the notification has gone down very drastically. Anand Mohan sir has shown a slide where we have seen that 25% decrement in the overall notification. So worldwide, in all the countries, it has gone down, but it has maximum its maximum impact in we can see in our country. In India, from private sector, I don't think that TB notification is that that prompt, and it should be taken care of. Awareness amongst clinicians, basically due to huge patient population, busy schedule, etc. There are so many factors which can be considered, but in spite of that, TB notification is very important, and it should be done even from private sector. If a private practitioner is not able to do it on his own, he can refer the patient to a government sector to get it done, and patient can continue treatment from private sector as well. That is also possible. Problem, we have seen patients with improper dosage and improper number of drugs. Basically, in continuation phase, we know that patients should be given 3 drugs. Patients should not be treated with less than 3 drugs. But we continue to receive the patients which are taking 2 drugs in continuation phase. So we need to keep ourselves updated with current literature. And next is COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, COVID-19 has badly impacted the program. There were problems with logistics, drug delivery. Patients were unable to follow up. There was lockdown, and people were afraid of seeking medical attention with respiratory symptoms during COVID-19 pandemic. मुझे तो they will test कि he has COVID-19 and he will be taken to some isolation camp, etc. So there was a lot of fear as well. So during COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen that notifications have gone down, deaths have increased, and basically now COVID-19 has gone down. We will wish that it does not emerge once more, 4th wave does not come, but still we'll need to take care of tuberculosis as well. So next in the line is drug-resistant tuberculosis. Anand Mohan sir has summarized very nicely its treatment and diagnostic part. So I would like to emphasize that it should be treated only at a designated Dr. TB center. It should not be treated if you are not authorized to give the treatment. You should not experiment. Basically, there are government designated centers and centers where Dr. TB treatment is to be done according to guidelines, and it should be done at those centers only. Emphasis on early diagnosis and adequate treatment is very important, and efforts to prevent emergence of resistance should be done. Basically, in order to prevent the resistance, we have already discussed some of the measures, like inappropriate use of drugs should be avoided, adequate treatment of drug susceptible tuberculosis should be done, etc. And last but not the least is non-tuberculous mycobacterium. Being a young pulmonologist, I'll emphasize this. This is the most ignored part of tuberculosis. Non-tuberculous mycobacteria is one of the concern. Patient's sputum will be AFP positive. He will be tested CB not negative. So once a patient with appropriate clinical history who is immunocompromised, is not responding to pulmonary tuberculosis conventional treatment, CB0 is negative and AFB is positive, you should always keep in mind that this could be a non-tuberculous mycobacterium, and in that case cultures becomes mandatory. So we should, and many of the non-tuberculous mycobacterium like Mycobacterium abscessus, these are quite deadly, and basically they do develop in very frail and HIV positive and immunocompromised patients. That's why it becomes delay in diagnosis can cost their lives. So these are the issues I wanted to discuss, and thank you for the opportunity. Basically, here I would like to conclude my talk. Thank you, ma'am.
Very well summarized, Dr. Vipul. Thank you so much for reminding us about the various aspects of Mdr TB and the tuberculosis treatment and the challenges faced, especially the non-tubercular mycobacterium, which you have identified so very clearly, and also the diagnostic challenges. And I would also like to add a small point here about the malnutrition aspect. I think nutrition is very important in TB treatment, and how the government is taking the Nikshay Poshan Yojana. So this is commendable, and thank you so much for your.
And the most important part, what I could gather as a layman, was close care of the patient, because all the use cases what Dr. Prakash was talking about, if you are really close to the patient, trying to see if he or she is reacting to a medicine or not, what kind of differential diagnoses are possible. So the closeness, the empathy of it all, and the kind of, I would say, medical agility the whole public healthcare system of the country has got. We hope that the COVID preparedness, we embark upon that strength when the fourth wave is not there, and with that sensitivity, we eliminate this TB, the time frame of which we have kept over there. So thank you so much for being with us on this World TB Day commemorations. All of the state TB officials, all the 22 top-notch ones, the district TB officials, and obviously our gratefulness to Professor Mohan and also Professor Prakash, who has really given those very, I would say, outlier aspects ki bhai resistance ko.
Point of view, clinician's point of view.
Yeah. So with this, we conclude today's commemoration, and thank you so much for being with us, for sparing your time and accepting this token tribute. And Dr. Prakash and Dr. Mohan, they are the outliers in the medical field. And आत्मनिर्भरता की जो बात कही कि हमारे पास खुद ही RT-PCR की किट्स हैं, कोविड के आने से बहुत सारे जो बातें थी जो शायद हमारे दिमाग में रहती नहीं थी, वो sensitivity बहुत कुछ आ गई है, and if we can ride over that sensitivity, I think that is the biggest I would say benefit what COVID would have given it to us. So thank you so much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.